What do we know? Where does it stand, Tyler?
Yeah, hey, Matt. Well, this is definitely complicating President Trump's efforts to try to make progress on ending the war in Ukraine. And it really does feel like a marked shift from the optimism that we heard projected from President Trump after that series of talks with the Ukrainian President Zelensky over the weekend and what was a flurry of diplomatic activity. Now, as you mentioned, we did hear from President Trump yesterday. He expressed disappointment to reporters at Mar-a-Lago, saying that this allegation does not come at the right time in the peace negotiating process. As you mentioned, of course, important for us to say that Ukraine is calling this a, quote, big lie, and they are alleging that the Kremlin could actually use this to set the groundwork to attack government buildings in Kyiv. But President Trump said that what he gleaned from his conversation with Russian President Vladimir Putin, his second yesterday in as many days, is that the Kremlin is going to revise its negotiating strategy, though at this point it is unclear what they are actually going to reconsider because, of course, there's a lot of sticking points on the table, and Bloomberg News is still reporting that Russia in recent days has continued to hammer Ukraine when it comes to missile and drone strikes. The biggest sticking point, though, on the table, as we have repeatedly heard, is what is going to happen when it comes to the future of potential territory concessions. And over the weekend, we did hear from both sides, as we discussed yesterday, but I would just put a finer point on this, that the new development was our understanding at Bloomberg News that the draft agreement currently in place would hold that referendum vote for Ukrainians to decide what happens in the eastern Donbass region. But at this point, Matt and Paul, if we go to what Russia would really accept, Ukraine says that they need to see some conditions met, including that Russia withdraw its troops. And at this point, it doesn't seem like that's happening.
Tyler, a little closer to home in Venezuela, President Trump says U.S. forces struck narcotics loading docks in Venezuela. What do we know about that?
Right. So this is a significant escalation in the pressure campaign. We didn't really get further details beyond what President Trump said. His quote was that there was a, quote, major explosion in the dock area where they load the boats up with drugs. This does appear to confirm something that he had suggested in a radio interview on Friday, that the U.S. was targeting a big plant or a big facility, in his words. There is reporting out from CNN that we have yet to confirm that earlier this month the CIA conducted a drone strike on a dock and that there were no casualties reported. The White House has not commented on that report, but this would mark the first known land strike inside Venezuela, though, of course, as you well know, President Trump has long been threatening this.